so we are kind of re-going over some of this Team Cup stuff real quick because we lost connection and lost our recording. So we want everybody to sign up for Team Cup tonight to be eligible for the t-shirt if you hit Success Club 5 in August. If not, we want everybody to be signed up by tomorrow, which is Monday the 31st by midnight. Team Cups have to be of 5 people. Only 2 people on that team can be lifetime diamonds, which would include me, Carey Lamb, and Jen. Success Club 5 gets you a My Daily Sunshine blanket. If everybody hits Success Club 5, it gets you a hoodie or a sweatshirt. And then on from there, there's the cruiser bikes and winning the trip to California. So I suggest that everybody who's in the number 1 spot take lead, get everybody's coach IDs, email addresses, and register the team by midnight tonight. And then that same person start a Facebook message thread of the people in your group to motivate you and keep you going throughout the month of August. All right, so I'm going to turn this over to Carey, who is going to do the call tonight on consistency. And I'm muting myself, so you go.
Okay, I unmuted myself now. So my name is Carey Henderson. I am on the fitness-related team. I don't like this. So I picked a topic for myself to talk about, something that I have issues with sometimes, and that is consistency. So, sometimes I feel like I'm consistent with my workouts, but then not my nutrition, or I'm not consistent with following up with my customers. And then all of a sudden I'll look and I see that so-and-so is now a Beachbody coach that I could have grabbed probably a month ago if I would have actually followed up and been consistent and done the things that I know I'm supposed to do. So anyway, I did look up a few things, and I've got some notes on ways to be consistent. So I know sometimes some of these some of these trainings like this seem really, I don't know, like they're kind of elementary, but honestly, until you really write these things down and look at them, I don't feel like myself that I really take them seriously and really pay attention. So there's 3 ways on how to be consistent, and then within those 3 ways, it talks about how to get to those points. So that's what I'm going to start to talk about, because consistency, honestly, is the key. Every single training, every single national wake-up call, every single thing I've ever seen is just always pushing everybody to just stay consistent, to do what you know you're supposed to do, and to do it every day, and then that is where you're going to get somewhere. I actually thought of a good example just right now. I'm one of those people that as I'm on Facebook, I'm looking at the ads and the sponsored parts that pop up, and you know how many things I've purchased from those because I keep seeing those same ads, because I looked at it that one time, I didn't buy it, but now it's popping back up, and it's popping back up, and it's popping back up. I've probably purchased 4 or 5 things that I actually really like, but from those, and that's just it. If we keep popping up in people's feeds, or popping up on their messages, or popping up in their emails, then we will be the ones that are in their face that they think, maybe I should give this a shot and, see what's actually, it's going to work for them, if it will. And that's what this consistency means to me. So I'm going to start off with, okay, we're talking about how to be consistent. The number 1 first thing is to change your thinking. So, me, I'm a negative person, and that's one of the things on here is to eliminate negative thinking. So make yourself less able to hold on to your actions. So if something happens and it's something that's bad, then just push it to the side. You don't have to keep thinking about it. You don't have to keep saying, oh, this happened and now I'm dwelling on the fact. Just get rid of it. When you have negative thoughts, then turn them around. Don't sit there and tell yourself that you can't do something, that you can't do what this person did, or that you can't do what that person did, but that you can. And then you keep practicing that and telling yourself that, and making it a mantra of your own, of course, and that will make you better at getting rid of that negative thinking. Also, first of all, if you're talking about being consistent, you have to be realistic. So, being consistency is going to be a great trait, but you don't want to set yourself up for failure. You have to know that you need to. Megan, you're messing up my thing.
Sorry.
Mute yourself. All right. But being real. Okay. Again, being realistic is a fantastic trait, but it takes time and it takes practice. So you need to think about areas in your life where you want to start seeing consistency. And then you have to know that you're not going to be able to be 100% right out of the gate. So you have to know that you're going to make mistakes, that, things are going to happen. You might set yourself up and you want to do this, this, and this, but you might fall off one day. So you have to be prepared for that type of stuff. So being realistic. Another way to change your thinking is to build your willpower. So what this training told me that was to be consistent, you have to have willpower. So how are you going to get it and how can you keep it? You can give yourself tricks to boost it. So if you know that your biggest thing is that you don't follow a good nutrition plan, that you don't have healthy eating, then you need to make sure that you don't have those snacks or whatever it is that's going to pull you away from that consistently healthy eating. You don't want to have those around you or in your area. So that way you're not having it in your eyesight and you're not thinking about it. You also want to avoid situations that are going to force you to have willpower. So if you know that you're Jen and you have to go to the grocery today to prep for what you're doing tomorrow, you don't want to go whenever you're starving and you know you want to get this ice cream and this chocolate or that chocolate peanut butter organic bar. Don't do that to yourself. Don't go to this party where you know there's going to be a million different types of desserts and foods. Don't go there starving. Go there that you've already had your steak and you've already, eaten a decent meal so that you can, you can let yourself actually win in that situation. And you're not going to be sitting there just fighting it and fighting it and fighting it and having to utilize your willpower and having to just make sure that you're digging it, give yourself a break is really kind of what it's trying to say. Make sure that your actions match your words. Don't say that you're going to do one thing and then do another. I am very guilty of that. So, you tell yourself, this is what I'm going to do today, or this is what I'm going to do this week. But then you turn around and you just go, well, I really don't have to do that. Or, I kind of said that's what I was going to do, but I don't really need to. And then you do something else. And also, if what you're choosing to be consistent in, if it's something that others can help you with, then you ask for assistance. If you say, look, you're at work and you're like, look, I'm doing so bad right now on my eating, so I want you all, if you see me go into that candy jar, then I want you to call me out. Like, I want you to tell me that. Just ask for help. So those were the 4 points of changing your thinking: being realistic, building your willpower, make sure your actions match your words, and then eliminate your negative thinking. Again, I'm doing this as my topic because I know it is something that I am not the best at. So as I'm sitting here telling you these things, I'm telling myself and trying to reiterate these points. The second part of being consistent is building it. So how are you going to build your consistency? First of all, you're going to set specific goals. So you're more likely to succeed if it's something that you're striving for. So it's something that you really want to do. How are you going to use that consistency to meet your goals? So set your goals, figure out how you're going to use the methods of being consistent to meet those. Make sure that you're not making some big grand change right off the bat. If you know that you're struggling in a certain thing, set a small goal. Don't set yourself up for this gigantic failure. Make sure that this change is going to happen slowly. You don't want to get overwhelmed. They mentioned trying to just choose one thing to work on for 1 month, and then after you're good with that, if you get it good within 2 weeks, that's great. Then just add one more thing and build upon that. So take that gradual step to get yourself where you want to go. Don't say, okay, this month I'm going to do this every day, this every other day, this, and this, and give yourself 5 things, and then you're overwhelmed. So make sure that you know that you're going to set these goals, something you want to strive for and succeed at, but that also it's going to be a slow change. And slow doesn't have to mean a year, but it's also not going to happen in a day. You want to make specific boundaries. Your boundaries that you set for yourself will make it easier to be consistent. So you're going to give yourself limits. Make sure that you know today is, they use healthy eating as a good example, and it is. So you're going to say, today is the day I'm only going to do this and this, and you're going to hold yourself within those boundaries. You're going to make sure that you meal prepped the day before. You're going to make sure that you don't go with your friend that goes to the closest McDonald's every day at lunch, or they don't go down to the gift shop and get snacks or whatever. Like, you're just gonna, that you're gonna set yourself up. You're gonna make sure that you do not fall out of those boundaries. You are gonna hold yourself accountable, of course. And of course we do that for ourselves, but how do we do that with each other, with our challenge groups? And honestly, I was always a big person that was like, I don't really need to be in this challenge group. I can do it on my own. I don't really need anybody else watching me or telling me. But the best thing that I've gotten out of every group I've ever done is just the fact that even on that day where I came home and I knew I needed to work out, but I really didn't want to, I had already seen 10, 12, 13, 20 people post their workout, their shake for the day. And I'm like, you know what? If they've already done it, I got to get in there too. I've got to do it. I want to be accountable. So hold yourself accountable. Recognize when you're not meeting those goals and those standards that you set for yourself. Recognize it. Sit down and figure out why. So, hey, I didn't meet this today, but why didn't I meet it? So look into it more, really dive in and see. And that way you can figure out, was there something you could have tweaked that day that could have helped you and kept you on the right path toward the goal that you were trying to get to. Tell others about your goal. Just like I said, tell your friends, tell your family. They probably already know anyway, but tell that person you're sitting next to on the plane when they come by with the peanuts and everything, and you say, no, I'm just going to pass and have my piece of fruit. Say, oh, I've got this goal that I have, shooting for myself. But anybody, and that way they know. Even though they're going to be eating the piece of cake, they're going to be like, oh, Carey, didn't you say you didn't want me to have you eat that piece of cake? No, you're exactly right. I did not have dessert at my grandpa's house tonight, and it all looked really tasty. And I wanted someone else to have some, but Wes didn't want to eat it. He said it was too full, which, whatever. I just wanted him to taste it and tell me how good it was. Again, don't beat yourself up. When you do fail, or when you don't hit that goal, or when you don't get to that point that day, don't beat yourself up about it, but just really sit down and realize why and what you can do differently tomorrow to make sure that you get back on the path that you had already set for yourself. So you're not perfect. Don't punish yourself, but just keep pushing. So again, the few things about how to build consistency are to set yourself set specific goals. Make sure that the change is going to be slow and gradual. Also set boundaries. Hold yourself accountable and let others do that as well. And don't beat yourself up. You're not perfect. Just keep pushing on to that goal that you want to obtain. The last part is to how to maintain that consistency. So let's say that you've already done it for the month. You've added on other things. You're just going, head first, straight forward. You're just chugging along. You're doing great. So how do we keep it? How do we maintain it? The first thing is to use critical visualization. So they tell us to be realistic about this. So what they mean by critical visualization is actually looking forward and really picturing yourself achieving all these things that you've set, and see it in your mind and know that you've gotten there and that you've made it. And also, while you're doing that, think of what obstacles could come along or what things could set you back. So consider all those. Really say, this could happen, but if so, then this is what I'm going to do. Or this could also happen, but then this is what I'm going to do. They said let yourself daydream. So if you just sit down one day, I honestly have been trying for a while. I'm not consistent about it at all, which is one thing I would like to do, but to have about 10 minutes at least a day of some meditation, just a quiet time to just relax and let your mind go. So if you sit here and you daydream, you give yourself maybe a 10-minute window, or even if it's a 20-minute if you have time, and set an alarm on your phone and just let your mind go, let yourself think. Sometimes I feel like the 2 times that I really think the best are 1, when I'm running, which I haven't done in a long time, and 2, when I'm in the shower. I'm only in the shower for less than 10 minutes, but I swear I get my best ideas and things come to my head when I'm in the shower. And of course, it's always a time where you're not able to write it down. But anyway, find that time for yourself where you can just sit there and think about where you could be and how you could get there, utilizing your consistency. And also, again, what obstacles may you face, and what are you going to do if those do happen? How are you going to get past those? How are you going to get through them? Somebody said that if you want to do it before bed, take time. relax, close your eyes, process your day, think about it. Think about what you did today. Think about the good things that you did and the goals that you did meet, or those little points that you set from yourself that you hit. But then again, think about those that you did and how you're going to change them for tomorrow. Let's see. Plan for failure, which is kind of what I already said. So think about, what am I going to do when this happens? And most of the time, honestly, again, with my negative thinking, but most of the time, one of those bad things is actually going to happen to you. So if you were already prepared, if you already know, oh my gosh, the worst thing possible that could have happened, it just threw me totally off my schedule, but you already knew that it could happen, and now when it does, then you know how you're going to handle it. Make sure that that failure does not affect your overall success and what you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to do. Of course, my cats are going to start hissing and doing each other right now while I'm talking. Jeez. Plan for failure. Increase your motivation. So even if you don't feel like it, if you don't feel like eating healthy today, do it because you told yourself that you were going to, because you set these goals, because you know where you're trying to get to. So do it, and if you can't do it whole, at least do half. If you really know that, oh my gosh, I know it is 8:33 and I've not done my workout tonight, but I've really got to do it, and you don't think that you can get through the whole 25 minutes, which, come on, we all know that we can, but then do half of it. And if you have to do the other half tomorrow, then do the other half tomorrow, but make sure that you're at least getting some point in. Don't just give up and say, I'm just going to skip today. Try your best to push yourself to at least get part of something done. I am one of those people, and I do it with my schoolwork, to where if I really can't sit down and do all of it, I'm going to say, what's the point of me doing, a few paragraphs? But again, that's moving myself along and not just leaving it when I could have. And again, don't also try to overwhelm yourself and do too much at once. Don't sit here and say, okay, well, I got to do this and this and this and this today, because that's just too much, and you know that you're not going to be able to get it all done. Make sure that you specifically pick those small things and that make them easy to knock out. Don't sit there and kill yourself. Make sure that you're thinking every day, why is this consistency important? Just like I said, if you all have listened to National Wake Up Calls, if you've watched anyone's trainings that are 10 times better than what I'm just talking about right now, all they ever say, honestly, and I've read it. I have this little book that I got myself, and I have a lot of the Wake Up Calls. Most of them are from last year and some from the beginning of this year. But every single one says, follow up and be consistent. Follow up and be consistent. Do these things daily. Follow up and be consistent on every single thing. It's like, again, use that ad example. Those people put those ads in my face of that little sticky bra, and so I had to try it out. I mean, it was fun. It was in my face about 10 or 15 times, so I had to order it. And I mean, I don't hate it, but I'm glad that I did. And who knows? There are certain things that I've ordered more of. And so if we are just keep on people without pestering, but just keeping, ourselves showing up on their page, showing up in their messages, I feel like I'm hit and miss. Some people like emails, some people like Facebook messages. I feel like it's one or the other. So if you can find out what each person that you're trying to actually connect with, what's their best way of, communication, where they're actually going to answer you back, then stick with that one and be consistent with them. You don't have to say the same thing every time. Oh, have you had a chance to look over what I sent you? Just say, hey, how was your day today? I mean, honestly, some of those people that have actually come back to me have been those types of, conversations. But like I said, again, my consistency's fallen off the map, so I got to start it all over and act like I don't even know these people and start over again. The big thing that is said to get away from this is to not be consistent in general. So don't just wake up and be like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow. I'm going to be consistent. But be very specific about your actions, about what you're trying to do and what you're going to achieve again. And remember that nobody is perfect. Just like I thought this was going to go a lot better in my head, and it sounded a lot like mumbo jumbo this whole time.
No, it didn't.
I would be fine if we did not record this, to be honest. So those are my three main things to remember, though. Don't be consistent in general. Be specific, and that no one is perfect. So don't sit here and beat yourself up about it. But that's kind of it. It was I talk kind of fast. I think I'm done.
I didn't think it sounded like mumbo
You did
jumbo.
good.
It was good. It was good and to the point. I like it. It's good.
I think it was really good. I think one thing.
We lost Linda.
However you want a screen. Screen. Me?
Yeah.
You're cutting out
Can
a
you see
bit.
me?
No, now you can. Now you can.
Okay, sorry, but doing a vision board, whether you do it as a screensaver on the back of your phone or put a picture of something that you have a goal. Maybe you live in an apartment and you want to buy your own house, so have that picture of your dream house. I'm sorry, look at this. Maybe this is your goal. To have your dog poop in public, okay? For real though, have a vision, have something that you're striving for, and look at it every day, and that'll help you be consistent. So, anyway, you did great. Sorry about this.
I want Matt to unmute himself and introduce himself because we haven't really got to talk about. I know. Hey, I'm calling him out. All right, go.
Introduce myself. My name's Matt Shannon, and I'm pretty much a baby coach, brand new coach to this group. So,
Woo!
what you had said tonight was definitely great information for me, and definitely is giving me more things to work towards. So, thank you.
Right, well, we're glad that you're on here, honestly, and glad that you're part of the team. So don't ever hesitate. I know you see a lot of female faces, but there are a few men.
But wait. Here's a male. He's been here the whole time. Say hi. This is my husband.
What's up?
Hey.
He's great to reach out to if you need anything on the man world. He's been through the waters of I'm a bro and I only need to go to the gym, message that you get back. So if you need any help on that front.
I did P90X like 5 years ago, and I loved it. And then now I'm just kind of getting back into everything. Now between P90X, Hammer Dizzle, all that stuff. So it's great.
Week of hard work is coming up soon.
Yeah.
Great way to get the guys on board to try a free week of BOD. So I want to do some info about that. But we have a couple minutes left. It looks like maybe 5, so try to make it short. But so team calls every Sunday night at 8. We'll keep going with this and see how it works. And I will keep recording them, and hopefully it'll be a lot smoother process next week. We're weeding out the kinks with that. I'll do some research on Google Hangouts. I'm kind of a pro at it, but not a pro at the getting it live to YouTube, so I need to work on that a little bit. I think Megan and or Jen are going to host our next call, right? Well, look at her over there. And we'd love if you have any ideas for us to let us know of stuff you want to work on, stuff you want to know about. Maybe you want to get outside of your comfort zone and host one yourself. There's no doing this wrong. It just takes getting used to talking live on video, and who better to do with a bunch of people who don't care if you make a fool of yourself. So before you go recording some killer YouTube videos and stunning the world. So I think consistency is definitely a huge deal. And my personal experience with it is I was so consistent all the way up until I was about a year into my graduate school. And I had to stop being consistent because of the way school was. I was really great about posting and getting my workouts in and doing everything. But where I lost consistency was the messaging in the back world of my business and the emailing and stuff like that. So my consistency from those 2 years prior pulled me through this past year until about 2 or 3 months ago, until I saw my success club points, my volume, and my interest drop off the map. And it was because those people that I had been working with, they don't know that they don't always go with you right away. That sometimes it takes your consistency of talking and showing up and knowing that you're going to be there and be helpful versus that you're going to be there in an instant to make a sale. So the more people see that consistency there, that you're there to help them along their journey, the more they're going to come about. I had people that were in my first free group that did not buy a challenge pack until me being about a year as a coach. So don't lose faith in the fact of being consistent and doing the vital behaviors of your national wake-up call, your workout, your shake, your sharing, and your inviting does pay off. Just keep it going. Just keep it going. Just keep it going. And I think one thing that Carey and I were talking about earlier is karma. in our team. The more you just help and support people, she talked to somebody today who wanted to be a coach and was interested in being a coach, and then a few minutes in the conversation found out that she's already with somebody else and already in challenge group and whatever. It's like, so how does she, she's seeing, obviously you're being some kind of consistent because she's reaching out to you. She knows you're a coach, but just giving her the information she needs, and whoever she decides to coach with, it's there. But that in the long run, that you have not been a pushy person. You've not pushed them something into what they wanted to do, and they're with somebody that they want to be with. So she might get a month into coaching, decide she doesn't like it, and she really wanted to be with us, and she might come over that way. Or she might not sign up right now, and let's say in 6 months she does decide to sign up, and it's with Carey. So I think just regardless of what you do, just keep in mind, if you genuinely just want to help people and give great advice, the sales and the challenge packs and the success club points and the coaches will come down the road. So that's all I have. Carey has. This is going to knock us off. We'll see you next Sunday at 8 o'clock. Bye.